Captain's log, stardate 55221.6. The expedition has been at Earth for 2 weeks now after transporting some of the injured personnel that were on a rescue mission into the mirror universe. Chief Mendrock, well, now Lieutenant Mendrock, has completed his officer training course. As for the rest of the crew, we are on light duty as we aid crews here on Earth to shore up some of the electrical systems due to a high probability of a coronal mass ejection from the Soul Star. In the meantime, for myself, I plan to catch up with some old friends in San Francisco and Captain's Log.
All right. So, like the captain's log said, you have been on Earth for a couple weeks now. The ship is undergoing the refits. Chief Mendrock went through his officer training course to move from enlisted to the officer corps. He completed that during this time and is now a fully commissioned lieutenant. And so, if there's any roleplay scenes you guys would like to do on Earth, now is the time to do it. Like I said, you've been here for a couple weeks, so if there's any old friends you want to meet up with, any places you want to be. During this time also, since you guys are technically on light duty, some people have been helping the engineers shore up some of the defenses for the coronal mass ejection that's been predicted. But other than that, you guys are basically able to enjoy Earth wherever you guys want to be.
I'm going to go to Yellowstone.
I figured that Casey probably went home for like 2 weeks to like his home planet, and would just be like getting back to Earth, like on a shuttle or something.
Cool.
I'm visiting the Daystrom School of Technology to say hi to any alumni that might still be around or alive, and just see what's going on, see if there's anything new to interest me.
DeGrasse would be probably holed up on a beach, let's say Southeast Asia, just taking it easy for now, poring over, doing a scientific literature catch up and that sort of thing, and just generally decompressing from what they just went through.
All right, so I figure, Nadan, that'll be your view you get to enjoy. I'll pick Fiji for you, DeGrasse. A nice little over-the-water hut.
Perfect.
Let's see, Casey, you said you went back to your home planet for a few weeks and probably just got back.
Yeah, it would be like, I imagine, just arriving on a shuttle.
Yeah, you probably be on Earth space dock then. Yeah, that seems to be the hub around the planet everyone goes to.
How recovered is he from his injuries physically?
Physically, you're probably back. You're probably back to close to being normal. You still have some tenderness in your feet, but they've been working on them, regenerative therapies and such. So, you can walk without the cane. But mentally, who knows? Up to you on that stuff. But yeah, physically, you're almost back to peak health. Right, and then Mendrock, you're just checking out the Daystrom Institute.
Yep.
Any research topics you wish to explore there, or you just taking the basic tour?
Well, I'm checking in on so I'm an alumni of the school, so checking in on any professors or any new technologies or new insightful anything that might help me with the expedition or future engineering.
Chief, go ahead and give me a insight engineering difficulty 1.
Insight. All right.
What focus did you use?
Oh, sorry about that. Um, yeah, I don't know if I have a computers maybe to look and see what's going on.
Sorry, what was that?
Computers, perhaps. To
No,
ask-
probably not.
all right. I'll just reroll it.
Oh no, I'll just make that a 1. You don't have to reroll.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you guys get a momentum. Yeah, and you're able to find multiple scientific journals that have been published within the I don't know, the last year that you've been out in deep space.
Mhm.
You've gotten a few tidbits on how to adjust the warp field dynamics for a more what's the word I'm looking for? Like better efficiency.
Okay.
You're able
Yep.
to, so you can make your warp engines more efficient. Conserve
Mhm.
power a little bit more.
Yeah, so I'll take that back with me, certainly. That information.
Yeah, then just a lot of scientific journals and stuff. Things like that. A few experiments and like EPS systems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Grab some digital articles or whatever to
yeah,
add to my reading list.
yeah. So you're able to find all of that and start getting ideas for things you could do to boost the efficiency of your ship.
Cool.
All right, and I believe the other one I haven't touched on is the captain.
Like the log said, she began in San Francisco visiting old friends.
Cool. Anywhere in particular?
I believe I messaged you a while ago about that.
Did you know? Oh, that. Okay. Let me just double check I got the right one. All right. So, Captain, you're in San Francisco. Starfleet headquarters, and in one of the open yards around Starfleet headquarters, you come up to a kind of like a memorial um, for all the officers that have given their lives in the service of Starfleet. They just built one to commemorate those lost in the Dominion War. There's no names listed on that memorial because the number is so great, but it's just like a memorial to them. And as you walk through this, you start noticing that there are actual graves of some of the Starfleet officers that have served throughout Starfleet. You check some of the dates. Some of them are recent. Some of them are a few hundred years old. Um, and you come to the section where you find a name inscribed as Captain Leslie Wen. Hopefully I said that right.
Yep. She kneels down, sending a small number of flowers upon the grave. Kind of remains in silent as giving a slight prayer. Well, Captain Lin, I sorry it's been too long, but been out of deep space for a little bit, and well, I managed to get myself captured this time. I will say though, I miss our conversations. But I do try to hold up to your teachings as continue on my first year as captain of the expedition. Hopefully, I'm living up to your standard. She says that she walks off.
And as you walk off, a slight breeze picks up around the area, picking up a few of the, like the flower pollen pods, and creates like a nice little scene of the pods lifted through the air.
She gives a slight smile and heads off to get a meal at a local just a local restaurant somewhere.
Yeah, and you could pretty much have your pick. I mean, San Francisco is a pretty happening spot for the discerning Starfleet officer looking for a good meal. Um, anyone else would like to do anything?
Uh, Not a scene per se, but I will say that DeGrasse probably got a pretty hefty sunburn. Maybe fell asleep outside with no lotion on or anything. So he'll be nice and red when he reports back.
Forgot to bring that doctor ordered sunscreen, huh?
I know, standard issue. Didn't come in my pack.
I could just picture you with the sunglasses, like, on your forehead, the little white cream on your nose, so you get burnt everywhere except the sunglass spot on the forehead and then your nose.
Let's do it.
Everything else red.
I love it. Let's do it.
Reminds me of a prank me and a couple of my cousins played on one of our older cousins when she was sunbathing and fell asleep. Just long story short, don't fall asleep while sunbathing when you've got a bunch of 13 and 14-year-olds running around.
I think that's sound advice for everybody. But yeah, Nadon, you're having a nice time at a Yellowstone National Park. You get to see Old Faithful. You get to see the buffalo and elk herds, a few wolf packs. A few brown bears.
Probably poking at the museum at the observatory as well. But yeah. Nadan will go hiking but stay on the marked trail because I don't exactly want to meet the same end as any of a number of tourists that have not done so and encountered some of the boiling hot pools.
And on the path, you were able to see some of the more exotic wildlife. A bunch of rare birds, a few pronghorn herds. Get to catalog some different plant species native to the area, of course. All right, I think that brings us back to Casey on ESD.
I'm not really sure what there is to do on ESD.
Pretty much anything you could do on any other starbase. There's bound to be a promenade, some shops, officers' lounge, holodecks. I'm sure there's a bunch of embassies located there too.
I suppose he'd just head to the officers' lounge for a relaxing drink and some time to think.
And the bartender pours you your favorite whiskey.
You'll find a good spot by the window. I assume there's a window.
Yep.
Just look out at Earth and slowly sit and sort of lets himself be absorbed in his thoughts for a while and doesn't make any effort to interact with people like he usually does.
All right, so all of you are going about your daily events. Nadan's walking her nature trail. Mendrock's looking around the Daystrom Institute. Captain Prax is eating a nice lunch. Casey's looking out the window. DeGrasse having just woken up from his nap and realizing that he is burnt from head to toe. When you all catch a glimmer at the sun, and this eerie green glow emanating from it.
I'm disturbed by that.
Prax to Expedition.
It is still in space dock. Basically meaning no one is on their manning stations.
She walks in the restaurant to see if there's any indication of what Starfleet weather services is saying.
You get into the restaurant, and on one of the computer screens, you see a breaking news report. And it is showing. Do I just do a newscast?
Do a newscast.
This just in. Starfleet scientists are tracking the movement of the coronal mass ejection that is due to emanate from Sol in a matter of minutes. However, what scientists did not anticipate is the chronoton wave that is emanating from the sun. We urge all persons on Earth to please head toward their shelter locations. And please do not contact Starfleet Command unless it is an emergency. And that's when you start hearing some sirens going off.
Well, I will head to the shelter.
I'll be right back. I gotta go grab a thing of water.
Well, so much for ordering a, pineapple pepperoni pizza.
Sounds good.
Well, you could get it to go, you know.
All right, I'm back. So what is everyone doing during this? I think Mendrock said he's gonna find the shelter at the Daystrom Institute.
Yeah, I'm taking the data pad with all the data with me that I was collecting and head for the shelter. I'm gonna see if I can reach anyone with my comm badge.
There is a heavy interference coming from the
Okay.
ejection, so it is interfering with communications.
Oh, then I'll just head to the shelter and be safe.
Nadon, yeah, you make a valid point. Well, what shelter?
Yeah, I will try to find an outcropping of rock to hide under, because that's the best I'm gonna do.
Is Earth space stack like shielded, or do I have to like run somewhere?
It is shielded, so you're probably fine.
I guess I'll take in the view with my coronal mass ejection glasses if those are required to not go blind.
You can
Probably
find
the
some
windows
three.
just do it all. The windows probably just do it automatically.
I'm sure the bar has a few 3D glasses you could wear.
Yeah.
Then it's just the Gross or the captain.
So the news broadcast advised taking shelter.
Yes.
So I have a focus in temporal mechanics. Would I be able to use that in any way to know if water or anything else shielded against that?
Give me insight science. Difficulty, we'll call this 1.
Okay.
Get a momentum.
Oh shit. Okay. In that case, DeGrasse will get up, walk back to his hut, and try to find some aloe or nifty future space lotion to try to soothe his sunburn. And he's going to basically be calm and just resigned as he does so.
I mean, there's replicators there. I mean, these aren't too basic of huts, so you're able to find whatever you need.
Cool.
The captain is going to try and make her way to Starfleet Command headquarters if she can in time.
All right. You all are doing your actions. You're finding your shelter, and Nadon's hiding behind rocks. DeGrasse is finding his aloe. Casey's enjoying the view that the captain's trying to book at the Starfleet Command. A minute or two passes, and the entire planet is encased in this green shockwave of chronoton radiation. And as it starts to pass and hit each one of you, including Casey on the starbase, you start to see the reality around you kind of shift. And it shifts, it bends, it distorts. And suddenly you find yourself in an entirely different place. We're going to go to a new scene here. Let me get it set up here. Nadon and Mendrock, you both awaken to find yourselves lying on the ground in an unfamiliar setting, and in a short distance away, maybe 20-30 meters, you hear loud chanting and screaming, and it seems to be kind of forming a slogan, kind of like you hear things like "end the war," "stop the war," like "we won't go," stuff like that.
Oh boy.
And someone over you says, "Are you two all right? You were right next to the blast when it happens. Do you need help?"
What blast? Where are we? Are you alright, Nadine?
Yes, I think I'm fine. I
You
seem
both
alright.
turn to each other, and Nadon, you notice that Mendrock, although he still has the facial features of Mendrock, he actually has human skin. And Mendrock, you notice that Nadon no longer has her spots. And you are not wearing your Starfleet uniforms, but you're actually wearing, like the 1960s garb.
So we're in tie-dye?
Yeah, you two probably are, yes.
Oh boy.
Tie-dye or mod fashion?
Yeah.
Like the flower skirts, the tube top,
Mm-hmm.
things, the things like that.
Wow. We are not in Kansas.
Where is this? I will say to the person who asked us if we were all right.
You're in Lamont, Ohio. And you guys come to
Oh.
and notice that it's like you're in the middle of like a small town, but like a square, like like the middle of town, like the town square. And the town doesn't look very big. Maybe residents of 1,000, maybe 2,000. And you notice that there's like you have the protest going on and a line of police in riot gear, the shields, the helmets, the clubs. And you see that the scene is getting very tense.
Well, what is going on here?
If I had to hazard a guess, this region is at war and these people don't want it to be.
Yeah, there's something going on. Perhaps we should take shelter and
That's probably wise.
not be out in the open.
This is the Ohio State Police. You are hereby ordered to disperse. If you do not leave the area immediately, you will be arrested. You hear over a loudspeaker.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
And after that announcement, you hear that the crowd is starting to get a lot louder.
I say we get away from the crowd. I do not want to be incarcerated for something I didn't do. I will look around the area. You said we're like in a square? Like a town?
Yeah, like a town square. Like there's like a bunch of like stores and shops and restaurants.
Or,
Little gazebo in the center.
and the police line is it like blocking the main street or?
Yeah. It looks like they're getting ready to like start making arrests and start pushing the crowd out of the town square.
Okay. I'll see if the Don wants to like get out of this crowd so we're not involved in whatever violence is about to happen.
Ladon, you still there?
Yes. Sorry, I guess I was on mute. Yeah, I'll follow along with Mendrock.
All right, Mendrock, give me a insight security difficulty 1 to try to find a path out of this area. Nadon, you can assist.
Will do.
Inside security, you said?
Yep. Or insight con. I'll go either one of those.
Yeah, security is better for me. All right.
All right, Mendrock and Nadon, you look around very briefly, and you do find like there's like a little passageway, maybe no bigger than that could fit a person, that runs between 2 of the buildings on the main street that you're able to go down and at least get away from the immediate area.
Okay. I didn't want to say this out loud in the crowd, but you look different.
Yes, so do you. Your skin, it's not blue.
Well, that's probably good, because they would probably freak out even more.
Do you know? Do you recognize what time period these garments are from?
My
And
knowledge of Earth history is not. I mean, I know a little bit, but I grew up on a colony, and then I went to the academy. So
yeah,
I'm not really familiar heavily with Earth, Earth culture, other than just the basics.
me either. I would assume, given how,
This is going to be a violent past time
yeah, and given
before
how
the
primitive their technology is, I would assume we're sometime.
before the unification. Well, we certainly aren't in the middle of the global war that happened.
Yeah.
So, this would probably not even be here.
Hopefully they aren't pre-warp still. Because if they are, that's a whole other problem.
Indeed. Um, do I have my data pad or anything?
No, you actually find that you have nothing on you except for
Okay.
your clothes.
That's not good.
Hold on, guys. I'm getting a phone call. I have to take this. I'll be right back.
Because if we don't have any identification, that's going to hinder us too. We might have to come up with something.
Oh, and yep.
So you guys are in the middle of Ohio.
Yep.
Yeah, my character might not know anything, but we'll have to see. I wonder if I can find a radio shack or something.
Well, I think he said Lamont. Good thing it's not Kent.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was. I got them mixed up in my head. You're right, Kent University.
Yeah, at first I thought he said Kent at first. And I'm like, well,
Oh, he's also saying state police. So it's the National Guard that shot up all the people in Canada. Also, that was in the 70s, wasn't it?
That's true. Was it in the 70s?
I think so. Let me look that up. Kent.
1970.
1970.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Mendrock, are you prepared to hack together a communications device from a transistor radio?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some. Well, I did take miracle worker talent, so
Yeah.
maybe I can see what I can do here.
Rocks into replicators.
Yep.
Ooh,
That's what you
good
need.
call. Prax, do you think we're going to be symbiontless?
Well, that would actually kill us. So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be a good thing to
They
clear up.
also turned Mendruck like human, so kind of
Yeah.
human, so it could have other physical changes, maybe.
Nidon lost her spots too.
I imagine we probably just lose our spots, but
I hope so.
All right, sorry about that. Is my niece's and my sister's birthday this weekend, so I had to, give them the birthday call. I was trying to do that before, but they just finally called me now.
Well, tell them happy birthday from the USS Expedition.
Right. All right, where were we?
inside security check with Mendrock and Didon.
We did that one. Unless there's another one we were doing.
We were talking about like trying to figure out the history or more information about where we are, and I also want to look around for what kind of shops are in this area. Like, is there any kind of electronic or gizmo shop?
Yeah, most of the shops are going to be on that main street, which is filled up by the police and angry riders.
Yeah. Okay.
So you probably won't be able to get a chance to look at that just yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we'll just hunker down in this alleyway then. Wait until it calms down somewhere or something.
All right, I'm back. All right, everyone still there?
Yep.
Yes.
Back.
All right, so you guys said you were just finding a place to lay low, which is good because then I can jump somewhere else. DeGrasse and Casey, as you start coming back through the little fog in your transition, you are met by a type of explosion that happens directly in front of you, and both of you are thrown back a good 10 feet from the base of the explosion, which appears to be a small house with a front door. You notice that both of you are garned in like this in this uniform with that says FBI on the sleeves. Another member dressed in the similar outfit as both of you comes up and says, "Agent DeGrasse, Agent Casey, are you all right?"
Wait, DeGrasse, and he'll look over and realize DeGrasse is next to him.
And again, you'll notice that he does not seem to have his telltale spots on him.
How did you? Where are we?
I was about to ask you the same thing. And DeGrasse his command instincts will kick in, and he'll just look at the person that walked up. Does he look like official?
Yeah, he has like seems to have like a tactical uniform on, a little bit of a arm around him. He's brandishing what looks to be like I'll say an M16 just because you guys will know that it is, but it seems to be like an assault rifle that your characters probably wouldn't know what it is, but you guys would know what an M16 is.
Okay. So yeah, he'll look at the person and just say, yes, we're fine. Report?
When we tried to breach the spy cell, they had it booby trapped. You took the brunt of an explosion. We all thought that would have killed you. You guys are lucky.
DeGrasse just looks around. Yeah, yes, I suppose we are. If you don't mind, I think Agent Casey and I are gonna walk this off a little.
Yes, sir. We took several of the suspected spies into custody. We're starting to go through their safe house now, trying to look for intelligence.
Understood. Let me know what you find.
And he'll nod and he'll start heading toward the house.
Is there a car?
They have like the look like trucks, old timey trucks, with painted black, no decals on them. It's a few of those.
I'd like to go take a look at one. See if there's like a radio inside. Or any like other details. Maybe like a map of the area.
Give me insight security. I'll give this a difficulty 1 as well.
Observation for focus.
Yes. All right. There is a CB radio near like the like the driver, like where like the radio would be. There's like a CB radio there. In the back, where like like the transportation device. Underneath one of the benches back there is a local map with the town name Lamont, Ohio on it. That appears to be, if you're reading the map correctly, the closest town to this location.
If I reach into my pocket, do I feel like a shield or like a badge?
No. Or like an FBI badge, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Does it have any like information as to what I might be, or is it just like a number?
Just a number.
Well, I'll memorize the number at least. That could be helpful. We need to keep up the act.
That'll be yours, Casey. 6831.
Awesome. Do you have a badge as well? He says to DeGrasse.
DeGrasse will reach into his pockets and dart around.
You find one with that number.
DeGrasse pulls it out. I'm 4599.
Have you heard of the Ancient Earth FBI?
No. Are you familiar at all with Earth history?
Familiar enough. It's certainly, this particular time period is certainly not an area of expertise. However, I know that the FBI was the central investigating authority of the United States government, a criminal investigation authority. So I suppose we are some sorts of detectives.
Huh. DeGrasse looks around. So we're police? Why would police be apprehending spies? This concept is a little foreign to him.
Well, during this time, there was a great rift on Earth between two blocks, the Western and Eastern, one led by the US and the other led by the Soviet Union. And of course, the war was largely based around espionage, as I understand. Both sides were eager to plant their spies in the other and to apprehend any spies within their territory.
Okay. Well, looks like we're the spy hunters.
This could be a good resource to us. If we can keep up the act of being FBI officers, we could wield the powers of a law enforcement officer if needed.
Well, that is true. But I'm certainly interested in exactly how we got here. Well, if we're the only ones here. Were you at Space Dock?
I was. I've. This is all very confusing. I was simply watching the ejection, and now, well, the first thing I saw was that explosion, and then you were there. Where were you?
DeGrasse gingerly touches his sunburn. On a beach.
Beach.
Well, Casey, I was reading a bit too. But I think you're right. This would be pretty advantageous. And well, since you're here and I'm here, I have to assume that we weren't the only ones affected by the chronoton radiation.
Indeed. Perhaps we could commandeer this vehicle and use the radio to attempt to reach out to the others. Of course, they would also need to have access to the radio. Is there when I did my search of the car, did I find like a notebook or anything, or do I have a notebook saying like what exactly we're doing other than just apprehending spies? Or
You actually do not.
Well, if we can think of some sort of excuse to leave and take one of the trucks.
And you hear a commotion coming from the house as the rest of the FBI team seems to drag out three people wearing civilian clothes. They're in handcuffs. They're being thrown around, thrown to the ground, guns pointed at them.
Casey pipes up to DeGrasse. Of course, law enforcement tactics in this era of Earth's history were quite brutal.
Well, certainly makes me thankful that Earth has moved beyond this. Are you aware if those weapons are, well, non-killing weapons?
Do they still have M16s?
Yes.
I couldn't tell you exactly what they are, but they appear to be old-style Earth firearms. They sort of what they would call a semi-automatic rifle. It shoots a projectile propelled by expanding gases. A crude but efficient weapon.
Well, and if Earth's history was any indication, I'm assuming that projectile was made of metal or some other substance fully capable of killing.
Indeed.
Agent DeGrasse, Agent Casey, stop lollygagging around that vehicle. Get your asses in here.
Well, seems like we have a superior.
Indeed.
Game face Casey.
We'll jog over.
All right. We'll go to another part of the puzzle. Captain, as you're running in the current time era, you're running trying to find shelter when you are encompassed by the green chronoton radiation. And when your world twists and distorts, you find yourself kind of suspended maybe 5 feet above an alleyway when your world returns to normal, and you fall into a pile of trash cans. You look at your clothing and you find that you're basically wearing like very soiled, dirty jeans, a green t-shirt. You have like a piece of plastic wrapped around your right bicep.
Disgusting.
And you find yourself in an unfamiliar place.
Attempts to get out of the garbage can. dumpster.
You hear a door open behind you and someone yell, "Get out of here, you junkie, or I'm calling the police!"
I beg your pardon?
You heard me, get!
I'm sorry. Uh, she looks for. I look for any ID.
You find you don't find anything in your pockets. Nothing on you. However, you do hear this.
I attempt to locate the transporter sound.
Give me insight security difficulty 1.
Well, no focus. Take a threat. Why not? See if we can get some momentum out of this.
2 ones. Gain 4 momentum out of that. You begin searching around the area that you're in. You know, turning over loose papers, kicking over trash cans. When you will finally find whatever was transported was, you do see a standard issue Starfleet communicator.
Grabs the communicator.
Captain Prax, there's no time to explain. Timeline is in danger. Find your crew and stop. And it cuts out.
Pockets the communicator and her jean pockets and stumbles out to figure out this problem. Probably smelling like trash.
And Captain, you walk out from the little alley, and you notice that you enter into a town square. There's a lot of trash and litter all over the ground, but you see that there's police moving people into paddy wagons. But everything seems to be settling down from whatever happened. You see some of the store and business owners outside sweeping up some of the trash that accumulated in front of their storefronts.
She walks up close to near a person who's sweeping. Excuse me.
You're not one of them dirty hippies, are you?
I don't know what you mean, but what is today's date?
Well, then I had the date. I got to relook it back up. It's July 14th, 1969. Man, how much drugs have you been on?
I just lost track of time, that's all. Mm. Um, it's like the jeans are like torn or like
Torn, dirty, old. For lack of a better term, looks like they came off a homeless person.
yeah. There's like no cash or anything. Nothing.
No, nope, nothing on your persons.
Awesome. Well, she's gonna start wandering around for like looking for a newspaper that might be on the ground or something.
You walk to town square and you pass by in front of a storefront that has, like how they had like the bunch of TVs in the storefront. On that is a news report. The United States Navy has blocked several Soviet cargo ships from entering a North Vietnamese harbor. Experts warn of increasing tensions between the Soviet Union and United States over what the Soviet ambassador warns is an unwelcomed United States interference in Vietnam's self-determination. In other news, the launch of the Apollo 11 spacecraft is on schedule to launch the day after tomorrow. The Apollo 11 mission will see the first manned mission to land American astronauts on the surface of the moon. Here to discuss, and the TV station changed their channels to like some comedy broadcast show.
Awesome. Yep, she's gonna start wondering to see if she can't spot anyone she recognizes.
All right, heading back to Nadon and Mendrock. You guys probably hang low for about an hour, hour and a half. When you do notice that the town square has mostly quieted down.
Go out and take a look around. Trying to find what day it is or some kind of news or information source.
Are you heading back to the town square? Are you?
I guess. Nadon?
I'm
Suggest-
not sure if we should go
idea?
back to where there was civil unrest and what appeared to be people with weapons.
Well, is that gone? Can I see if that's still
So you moved a little bit away from it, but you've it's pretty much quiet now.
okay.
You don't hear the screaming, you don't hear the chanting, you don't hear the loudspeakers.
I don't see like lights and sirens or anything going on either.
No, it's quieted down quite a bit from earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I'll come along toward the square then.
And when you guys get to the square, you notice that it's empty. There's a lot of trash littering the ground now, and several of the shopkeepers have come and started sweeping up, the area in front of their storefronts. But you both can definitely tell that with your clothing, you are definitely out of place with the normal townsfolk, and they're giving you like dirty looks, looking at you side eyed and such, because you're still in your hippie protest garb.
I inquire if anyone is looking for work, like hired help, since we have no money or ain't nothing. So
Um, as you walk around the town, as you try to approach somebody, you kind of are given the same answer. Get out of our town, you dirty hippie. We don't want you here, type stuff. Reddick mostly coming from the townspeople. You can tell they're physically angry about the situation more than you personally.
well, I'll look around. for, I guess, a loose change or whatever. I don't know what I'm really looking for since I'm not familiar with this area, but I'm just kind of looking around for anything useful on the ground or maybe discarded or something. Since we have nothing.
Gate it back, Captain.
Nidon.
Mm-hmm.
It's waving.
Across the square, Nadon, you hear your name called, and you kind of see what looks like the captain across the square.
I will look at her, double take, and then wave. Captain?
Mendrock, you have no idea what's going on. You just see Nadon turn and start waving it across the square.
What's going on, Nadon?
I point. I think that's the captain.
I look in that direction.
And you finally see the same thing Nadon does.
I will try to make my way towards her.
And after a few minutes, you finally meet up where the captain was.
I would say interesting attire, but
Yeah, they don't like us apparently. This attire needs to be changed somehow.
at least you probably don't smell like garbage. Like,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
well, falling, say, off a second floor building into a dumpster is quite pleasant.
Oh well, we got hit by an explosion, or at least in the radius of one.
Well, and she kind of pulls out of her jean pocket. This beamed in momentarily after and got a rather unsettling message.
Oh, that's more than either of us know anything. I don't even know what day or year it is.
Um, July 14th, 1969, from what I've gathered so far.
Well, it must have something to do with some kind of war or conflict. There was some kind of protest going
Um,
on earlier.
I
Apparently, they were involved.
yes, actually, this time period, from what I gather, is close when Earth, the humans, will be landing their first astronaut upon the planetary moon. Keep in mind, Prime Directive applies, but the message that I received when I got the communicator was the timeline is in danger and we have to stop someone, which the communications cut out. But from what I've gathered, it would appear that the United States Navy has blockaded several Soviet cargo ships at a place called in North Vietnamese Harbor. Where is Casey?
We need somebody who knows this human history.
Indeed. Um, do you have Well, I assume none of us have any means to acquire other goods. So we're gonna have to improvise, I guess.
Yep, and I'm not sure I will get much headway on that either, considering most think I am some sort of druggie.
Yeah, they
What's
they
a
think
druggie?
we're to blame for the riot, and you are probably blamed for being related or something too terrible.
Some sort of outcast, it would appear.
Yeah, yeah, appears we all are. Well, ideas.
Probably, hopefully, it's if we can't find. Um,
Casey and Commander in the house. Yeah.
if they were transported, but considering the two of you here, it's probably highly likely.
Mm.
It,
Hopefully they weren't in the protest that yet imprisoned.
we could check the police station, though I hesitate at our reception there, but
Yes,
a worthy place to start.
I concur.
Um, though normally I don't condone this, but I'm going to find something else to wear.
That would probably be wise for us too if we can
Yes.
figure out something that would not draw undue attention to us.
All right. So while you three are strolling the neighborhood looking for changes of clothes, probably off of the clotheslines of the townsfolks, so you guys can go do clothesline shopping. uh, Back with DeGrasse and Casey. I'm assuming you guys hustled inside the building.
We did.
Yep. We're playing along.
So you guys get up to the guy that yelled at you to get your asses in here, and he says, "Start looking for that intelligence we're looking for."
Roger.
DeGrasse glances at Casey.
I'm gonna look for anything written in Acrylic.
DeGrasse will kind of mime, a headache and being a little woozy, and just say, "Sorry, sir, that blast may have done something to me. What are we looking for again?"
Give me presence command. I'll make this opposed.
Okie dokie. Persuasion for a focus? I'm attempting.
No.
Okay.
This is probably more a deception.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll burn a momentum.
I'll use up a threat because why not?
Darn.
The superior that called you over says, "God, didn't you guys pay attention in the briefing? We're raiding a Soviet spy cell. They're suspected on attacking something important. We're here to try to gather intelligence." You guys gained 2 momentum out of that, by the way.
Cool. Of course, sir. We'll let you know what we find. And DeGrasse walks off in Casey's direction.
I think I can find something vaguely acceptable for them to keep the charade up, he says quietly.
Understood. You take a look in here. I'm gonna walk out and check on the captives.
Casey's gonna look not too hard. Like he'll look like he'll look, but yeah, not very hard, because in case he like found something that I guess he wouldn't know if it's like the real timeline or not, and to avoid any contamination, he'll just see if he can find anything obvious that they would find, probably on their own, and written in Russian, probably.
Okay, give me. Since you said you're not looking very hard, let's go. Give me an insight security difficulty 4.
Observation for focus.
Yep.
I'll spend or I'll generate 1 threat and spend 2 momentum for 4 dice.
Damn, I get 2 momentum out of that.
Nice.
So much for not trying hard, Casey. So Casey, you're looking through like some of the desks that are in the basement and stuff, and you see newspaper clippings, that they have the date like July 11th, 1969, July 12th, 1969, and all of the articles that are around you seem to pertain to mentioning the Apollo 11 launch in Florida. And like on some of the walls, you kind of see like a detailed layout of the installation.
Like the
like the launch pad is kind of like on a crude drawing on like a chalkboard. It has like the launch pad, mission control, security checkpoints, stuff like that.
Wait, I think I know where this is going. All right. Casey will take those and report it back to the superior.
Right, and then DeGrasse would. So we'll come back to you, Casey. DeGrasse, you said you were going to.
He's going outside to check on the captives.
Okay. When you get out there, the person that seems to be in charge, that yelled at you guys, is holding up a photo in front of the captives. Is this the man you work for? Is this who is your ringleader? Give me an insight. What do I want this to be? Insight command, I think. Difficulty 3.
Any sense as to what I'm rolling for?
About the picture that he's holding up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so take a threat. I'll burn 2 momentum and see what happens. Oh, wow. Nothing good.
Do you let it stand? Do you try to re-roll?
Yeah, 1 sec.
Yeah, you didn't miss by much on 2 of them.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, so I'm going to re-roll that complication.
Using what?
Bold command.
Okay, I didn't know you had both. Cool.
Yep.
Right, it's 2 successes.
I'm sensing this is pretty important, so will you let
Succeed
me
at cost.
succeed at cost?
Sure.
Thank you.
I just got to figure out what the cost is going to be.
He discovers the information, but he dies.
Instant heart attack.
But a meteor falls on him. I'm going to type this one out to you, though.
Gotcha.
It's one of those like hand drawn pictures. Like the
Like
you know,
the wanted pictures. Or,
yeah,
Yeah, like the artist. Yeah,
artist rendition. Yeah.
gotcha. Uh, is Casey out here yet?
He probably at this time is probably when he will run out.
Okay. DeGrasse will kind of motion him over.
He will head on
That.
over.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, he's just he responds and like sees you
Casey,
waving.
that picture resembles a Romulan, does it not?
Does it resemble a Romulan to me?
Give me insight command. Diff 3.
Um, observation would be the closest focus. I guess it's
No,
physical traits.
no, I don't think so.
I'll do a threat and 2 momentum.
I'll give you the same succeed at cost if you want.
Sure. I guess I see what you mean. I also found this, and he shows some of the papers. It appears that we are just prior to humanity's first manned mission to the moon, the first a major feat in human space exploration and a critical point in Earth history. We are just prior to this event, and it appears that these agents had a lot of information pertaining to the exact details and the security of that event. Perhaps there is more to this than a simple stellar phenomenon.
DeGrasse nods. And he walks a little closer to the captives and the superior. Are they saying anything?
No, they're all just like looking away, looking into the ground. Not talking.
Um, can I try and try my hand at intimidating one of them into saying who that is?
You can roleplay something else if you'd like.
All right. Sorry if this isn't Starfleet protocol. And Casey will walk over and sort of like grab one of them by the shirt. Who the hell is this? And he'll hold up the picture. Do you work for him? What's his name?
I'll spend 2 threat. Casey, he kind of leans back a little bit and then hawks a huge loogie right in your face.
Great.
DeGrasse's eyes go wide at this display.
He's gonna like pull him in really close and stare him straight in the eye and be like, "Listen, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. We're gonna get this information. I can make things go very well for you. Tell me who this is."
You could tell that this one is definitely not going to talk.
Um, he ushers to the like I don't know if I would be superior to any other agents, but and he'd say, "Take this one out to the trucks."
A few of the other agents come and take him away.
And he'll stand in front of the next guy and say, "Well, no sense in going into the detail about what will happen to your friend, but I can assure you, you can avoid the same fate if you give us just a little bit of cooperation."
Give me a presence command. I'm going to make it a difficulty 4.
Well, I don't think any of my values apply to being an intimidator. Presence command. I will spend that 1 momentum, and I will have to do 4 threat for 5 dice.
You mean 5 threat?
Yes.
Right now it is a fail.
Yes. I don't think I have any way to reverse that.
So it stands.
Yes.
We're not telling you anything, you capitalist pig, replies the next one in line.
DeGrasse walks up to Casey, kind of puts his hand on his shoulder. Casey, you might have to wait until they're taken to the holding facility. See if we can get anything more out of them.
Well, that's just it. We have so little time with the launch being scheduled for tomorrow.
Did you find anything of interest, Agent Casey?
Yes, it appears that these communist pigs have very detailed information about the Apollo 11 mission that will launch tomorrow, including security plans. This information is all highly classified.
That confirms our suspicion, then. Perhaps some time in the pit will loosen their tongues.
I tried to convince them of the error of their ways to prevent such a fate for them, but it seems that they are almost eager to jump in.
He'll turn back to the two that are remaining. The punishment for espionage is death. But I'm sure I could persuade some of the yahoos in Washington to commune your sentence to life imprisonment if you cooperate. But in the meantime, a little time out will do you some good. And he motions to a few other agents, and they take the remaining two to separate vehicles. Good work today, agents.
Thank you, sir. DeGrasse glances back at the vehicles. Sir, would you like us to accompany the others to the holding facility?
We'll handle that for now. You two have taken a blast that surely would have killed anyone else. Why don't you two head down to the local hospital, get yourselves checked out, and meet us back in Washington in about a week. We'll handle these three.
Understood, sir. Out of curiosity, where are they going to be held?
Somewhere not even Santa Claus can find them. And with that, he assumes you know what he's talking about and turns to enter one of the vehicles.
DeGrasse glances at Casey, sort of out of earshot of the others. Casey, in your estimation, do we need this information now?
Did I manage to deduce what the current date was throughout my readings? I don't know if they had the current date.
Yeah. The last one that you saw was July 14th.
All right.
I think that's the date I was using for everybody, right?
Yep.
I believe that the launch is only tomorrow, and as far as I know, we don't have any other lead.
Oh. Okay. 2 days. Well, Casey, since they seem pretty intent on taking them to an unidentified site. Do you know how to drive one of these things? Well, DeGrasse would say, do you know how to pilot one of these things? As he points to the nearest vehicle.
Casey will chuckle. Pilot. Well, I've driven one, at least in the holodeck, and a couple of times at Earth. They're sort of a novelty. I think I should be able to keep this one in operation.
Understood.
Perhaps we could use our advantages as FBI officers to find out where these prisoners will be held.
I was thinking the same thing. Do you think it's worthwhile to follow these vehicles to their destination?
Potentially. Do we have like when I searched the car, was there like a book for like an operator, like I don't know, like a way to reach Central FBI?
Yeah, there's some radio frequencies in there.
We could also try to communicate with the central authority of our organization to figure out where these prisoners might be taken exactly.
Well, sounds like as good a plan as any. Let's see what we can do. In the meantime, let's head towards the nearest populated area, get our bearings, and, well,
And
see
maybe
what else
some
we can
lunch.
find out. That too.
So I guess Casey will try to find the correct frequency in the radio. I assume he can like figure out how to use an old-timey radio.
What are you trying to do with the radio?
He's trying to tune it into a frequency by which he could contact like just sort of like an operator for FBI that could give him appropriate numbers or addresses.
Give me control engineering difficulty 2.
Can DeGrasse assist with this?
I'll give it to you at increased complication.
I'll take it if you want to, DeGrasse.
Yeah, I can help you out.
All right. Sorry, is that control engineer?
Yes.
Okay. I'll generate a threat. Here's nothing.
You gain a momentum out of that. You tune the radio frequencies to what you think the frequencies are with the little list you're given. And you eventually you turn to one, and there'll be some chatter, maybe about an operation going on, maybe a few dispatch notes. Another one will be like mission accomplished for bringing them into to the tunnel, things like that. But you're able to fiddle with the radio and get to all the frequencies on the list.
Okay. So yeah, he's gonna like call on like I guess like the nearest like operations or I don't know if it's like a dispatch sort of thing. Just sort of wherever a field agent might get information from.
Go ahead and roleplay it out.
Sure. Dispatch. This is Special Agent Casey, badge 6831, and Special Agent DeGrasse, badge 4599, on operations just outside of Lamont, Ohio.
What do you need, Agent?
Some prisoners were just apprehended. We were looking for an address for where they may be held. They are suspected Soviet spies.
They should be taken to the regional field office in Columbus. Codenamed the Tunnel.
Very good. Could I have the street address? We are from the Washington office.
But if you call the number in the back of the handbook, we could provide you that information then.
What handbook, sorry? I don't know if I cut out or if they just said the handbook.
They just said the handbook.
Casey scrambles looking for a handbook.
You find something in the glove box that looks to be it.
You'll look on the back for a number with the code. Sorry, I didn't pick up the code name, but
And on the back of it, there's like different numbers. So like the Indianapolis FBI building, Columbus FBI building, the Chicago building, the Detroit building. Each of them seems to have a sequence of numbers associated with it.
right. I don't think that these are radio frequencies. I think that we have to reach an old-fashioned device called a telephone. In order to get in touch with this office.
Are you sure we can't say these numbers into this device and get in touch with the office? Is this some sort of code?
Great question. Would Casey be able to distinguish it like a phone number from what might be an operational code?
Give me Insight Engineering, Div 2. I have all this threat. Let's make this Div 4.
Wait, can I would there be any phone numbers for businesses like in the newspaper? Like any of the newspapers that we have as evidence?
They're more or less clippings.
Okay, so none of the advertisements made it on?
No.
Damn it.
But really, this is a test to see if you can differentiate between the radio frequencies on the CB device versus what these numbers are.
All right.
Just because I might set you up for something hilarious.
All right. Well, I guess I'll have to spend 2 threat then and 1 momentum for 4 days. Yes. I don't think. Okay, no, it was a complication, but I did have accidentally the complication rage at 2. But it stands.
You don't see any reason why these wouldn't work with this device.
All right, I'll plug them in.
Just trying to match the numbers, or what do you like? What exactly?
You'll try to, I guess, tune into that frequency if that's what we were doing.
I thought he suggested you speak the numbers
Oh,
into the
okay.
device.
I
Oh,
did.
right. Dispatch, this is Special Agent KC, and then he'll speak out the code name and then those numbers.
Agent Casey, what sick joke is this?
No joke, just unfamiliar with current field procedure.
God, don't let anyone into the FBI. You have to use a rotary phone.
Understood. We'll get right on that. Thank you, dispatch. Have a very nice day.
And under the dispatcher's breath, you just hear "idiot."
Casey shrugs. I think you were right about heading into town.
Well, people certainly are a crude bunch.
Indeed. Do you think that you'd be able to read this road map and direct me toward the town?
I do remember taking survival course or two, which did include reading old-fashioned maps like this. I can give it a try. DeGrasse kind of rotates the map a few different times, a few different ways. Let's drive up here down the road a ways and see if we can find any markers or anything else.
Indeed.
All right, so I'll give you a quick control con or daring con. Difficulty 2. You could both assist each other, or Casey will probably get the primary because he's driving, and then DeGrasse can get the assist for the navigating.
Nice. Casey, my control con is 12, so
Okay.
hope you're a little better.
13.
You're getting lost.
What was it? Was diff 2? Sorry.
Yeah, difficulty 2.
I'll take a threat.
I figured one would be the infamiliarity with driving the vehicle, and then the navigating. Oh
Are we in the
my
South?
God.
Make Mason-Dixon line? Are we just like way out there?
Oh man, are you guys letting the roll stand?
Okay.
I guess so.
Love this. Okay, we gotta figure something out. Okay. So, okay, how much would we? Yeah, how much would we have to spend to just re-roll the complication?
We don't have any momentum.
How much threat?
And this was supposed to be the momentum roll. Well, how do I want to play this? I mean, there's that option, yes.
I don't think challenging any, like, I can't think of any value to challenge or that would be applicable, to be honest, like in its current state or.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though. I'll take the complications, but they won't be as bad I was originally thinking with them.
Crash and die.
Yeah, that's comforting. Yeah.
So, DeGrasse, your infamiliarity with reading this type of map and navigating in this manner means that you actually took Casey and yourselves about 100 miles in the wrong direction. By the time you realize this and you turn back, the vehicle runs out of gas probably a good 5 miles outside of the town. And so you have to walk the rest of the way.
So as the car starts to chug, DeGrasse will just go, Casey, what did you do to it?
I believe we have expended all of its gasoline, the crude form of fuel that is used to power these devices.
Well, wouldn't it make sense to have gasoline stored somewhere on the vehicle?
Perhaps.
I have to imagine this is an extremely common occurrence in a vehicle like this.
Perhaps there are gas cans in the back. He'll look in the flatbed.
I'll give you a. Let's go. Insight security difficulty 3 to attempt to create the advantage that there are backup fuel in the cargo department.
Any of my focuses apply?
Sure,
what kind of?
Probably not.
All right. Well, I will. Can I get assisted, like help looking for?
Yeah. I'll let the grass assist you.
All right. I'll generate one threat then. Third dice.
You find like an emergency gas can, maybe a gallon or two, that probably is enough to get you into town.
So hopefully he figures out how to put in some gas and.
Yeah, we'll waive learning how to do that.
DeGrasse just starts mashing the gas can on the engine.
Well, I mean, Casey, you have driven in holodecks, so I think you'd know where they go.
Probably, yeah. Like coming into town, does Casey notice any big signs that say gasoline or something? Because I imagine that's what he'd be looking for. A gasoline store.
All right, so you guys are driving into town. Both of you give me insight con. Yeah, insight con difficulty of 1.
Observation for a focus?
Yes.
Awesome. I'll spend that 1 momentum.
All right, you both succeed. All right, so you're driving into town. Casey's driving, DeGrasse in the passenger seat. Along one of the sides of the roads, you guys think you spot what appears to be the captain and the Don talking with a third person in the town square. As you drive by.
I'll pull over.
Are they still in their sort of hippie /
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No, they're back. They just okay. So, they're actually in their new clothes, whatever they found on clotheslines. Probably some of those 60s dresses. Mendrak probably found a suit, or maybe probably like a like the dress slacks with the patterned shirt. So whatever clothes you found, you guys can tell me what clothes you found. And they just they look like they just re-entered the town square. I think that'll be the way to get everybody together.
Casey? Is that who I think that is?
I think it is.
So as Casey pulls over, DeGrasse will look for a way to open the door, pull the window down. Hopefully he discovers it. And
You've had a long car ride. You've pretty much played with everything on the door.
fiddled with it, yeah. So he rolls the window down and just out the window, just is like, Captain Nadon? Mendrock? Kind of half whispering, half not.
You three are close enough to hear this.
Do we recognize them? Or well,
Yeah, I mean, despite the spots, DeGrasse still looks like DeGrasse just without him, and he's kind of like hanging his head out the window.
Did Casey miraculously grow a 60s mustache or anything?
I mean, you could.
Back to pink.net.
Probably without the bow tie and the jacket, but the other wear probably would be what I can find. I'm sure.
I mean, DeGrasse?
Oh, it is you. Would you like to enter this vehicle?
Is it safe?
DeGrasse looks around. I don't know.
I think I know how to drive it.
Piece of engineering. I'm like studying it.
It's awfully loud and smelly.
Oh, if I had time, I could make it more efficient. But I don't think we have time for what the captain said.
I guess there's no choice. At least we're all together. He figures out how to open the door.
Try and get in safely.
The captain fiddles with the door for a few moments, hitting it, kicking it, pulling on the handle, and then finally Mendrak comes up and just pushes the button and door opens.
Thank you. Slides in.
And you guys slide into the back of the vehicle. There's like benches there. There's a little opening between where you guys are sitting and then the cab in the front, so you can communicate through.
Well, I see. You fared out better.
Yes, Captain. It appears we're some sort of police or members of a detective organization.
Oh,
We were accused of rioting and being troublemakers.
Well, I suppose it's fitting that you're in the back of this vehicle, then.
Captain, we uncovered some very disturbing information. It There was an image of a suspect that we saw that appears to be a Romulan. That is the leader of a spy ring, which our organization just took down. However, this ring had very detailed um, maps of the security plans and the details of the launch of the Apollo 11 mission tomorrow. If you've ever heard of it, sir.
I sounds familiar. I believe that's what I heard on the view screen. Maybe that's what it's called. I'm not sure. Um, it stated something with the United States Navy was engaged in some sort of blockade around some Vietnamese harbor of Soviet cargo ships. If that means anything. But I also and kind of pulls up the combat received this after pulling myself out of a dumpster, but got a cryptic message from whoever is responsible for sending us here that um, the timeline apparently is in danger and we need to stop and cut out. So, with that being said, this is probably the better lead. You wouldn't happen to have that a photo of the individual?
I'll check the glove or my pockets. No, it was taken away. Unfortunately, it was held by an agent who appeared to be our superior.
This superior that you're supposedly working for, did he give you any sort of orders?
We were ordered to report to a local hospital.
And that was it?
That was what we heard.
They also mentioned a returning to Washington in a week. However, the launch is tomorrow, so
2 days, Casey. 2 days.
uh, 2 days from now. Sorry. However, there may be another lead.
What sort of lead?
Well, there are, of course, the spies which were apprehended by our organization, and we have discovered where they're being held.
At a location called Columbus, Captain. Something like the tunnel. It might be the building they're being held in.
And you recovered detailed plans of.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that these plans were highly detailed. And he glances at Casey. Casey, I believe they were mainly clippings of some sort.
That's correct, sir.
I know the significance of this launch. Uh, And given the tensions, do you believe if a failure launch, I mean, could it be possible, Casey, based on your knowledge of history on your planet, that this could derail the progress of your people, if not start a war? I mean, without.
That is certainly a possibility, Captain, and with the technology available in this era and the animosity which existed, it's possible the human race could entirely wipe itself out um, if a war were to happen, and if it was discovered that uh, the Soviet bloc prevented this launch, it could certainly have that effect in the timeline.
Well, seems that, well, we were transported through time. I don't see why an agent of a hostile power from our time couldn't also have either used the same event or similar technology or something to go back to this time period as well and try to, you know, put a kink in Earth's history.
Our being here, I do not think was a mere accident. Someone put us here on purpose.
I think someone wants us to find a Romulan.
Well, Captain, based on the communication you received, the source did want us to stop something. We might assume that it would be this event.
Casey, do you know where the launch site is at for this Apollo 11?
You guess he probably would. I visited the site of the launch, um, but it is in Florida. Of course, not a very long trip, but in this era with our primitive vehicles, it would not be a short journey.
So, other means in this current transportation device.
DeGrasse kind of pipes up. Well, depending on where this Romulan is located, if they're leading this operation, we could try to prevent them from beginning the operation instead of instead of stopping the operation where it's supposed to take place.
Perhaps when we were uh, transported into this time period, we were all transported into this specific town for a reason.
It's very likely, and given that the two of you took down some sort of spy ring, or at least I assume that was the case. And there was no name.
The spies wouldn't speak of a name for this Romulan.
Give me a brief description of him. Maybe we could ask around town to see if anyone's seen him.
GM. So I'm assuming the picture looked like a Romulan, dark hair, haircut, pointy ears, maybe
Yep.
brow ridges. Any other identifying aspects of the picture?
That's the thing. You guys took it at cost, so part of it was you wouldn't be able to recognize them in a crowd. So you're basically the picture didn't have those aspects. It looked like your stereotypical Romulan.
Okay. Captain, from what I remember, it looked like a generic Romulan, with the same features on the ears, same haircut, same brow ridge. In all honesty, with the exception of saying it's a Romulan, it could have been any one from that species.
Well, could walk around town, I guess, and ask to see if anyone's seen this individual.
Understood, sir. But first, Casey, I believe you said this vehicle may need more fuel.
I think I can take care of the gasoline. Um, Perhaps we could meet at the petroleum store.
GM, just where we're at, can I spot like a diner or some sort of
Yeah. There's like a small town diner on one of the streets inside the square. It has the word diner over it.
why don't we meet at the diner in say an hour and see if we can't do a little scouting around for see if anyone's seen a Romulan.
Meet at the diner. I like that idea better, Captain.
Feeling a little peckish, Casey?
I didn't have a very good meal before we went back in time.
Hmm.
There's, I suppose, several hundred years in between my last meal and now.
I suppose you two actually have like money or whatever currency, because none of us had anything other than clothes that made us outsiders.
Oh, that's right. This era still uses primitive currency.
Do we have like a government credit card or anything?
DeGrasse, give me a insight con difficulty 1.
You said Insight Con?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, typing it out.
No worries. So DeGrasse goes, Oh, yeah, I can't believe I forgot. And he opens the glove compartment and like fishes out all the paperwork, and then kind of holds up, I guess, the wad of green slips of paper. Casey, does this mean anything to you? It vaguely looks like some sort of currency to me.
I think my father may have had one of those in his antique box.
And DeGrasse counts it out. 250.
Is that a lot?
Well, if we ration it, it should cover our basic expenses.
That'd be good because we're gonna need at least some items for me to attempt to make either a transportation device or other gear if need be. I don't know what we're intending to do with the. We're gonna try and find this Romulan and make him speak. He might be armed or dangerous. None of us have any weapons or anything.
GM, did we see any weapons when we were in the vehicle?
You had your M16s.
Do we have like standard sidearms or do we still have the M16s?
You still have the M16s. I mean, they were around you, and you were holding them throughout the entire scene. Inside the vehicle, no.
We have some primitive weapons. Of course, they're not ideal.
Well, I think the three of us walking around with weapons would probably arouse suspicion, especially since
Oh yeah, certainly. Because of a riot. Yeah, that would be bad.
let's split up the cash equally among us. There wouldn't have been any identification of some sort in there.
DeGrasse pulls out his badge and says,
Mm,
"There's some on us."
oh, lucky you.
GM, were there any other like driver's licenses or anything else in the
No,
luggage?
just you. The only thing you two had on your persons were those badges.
Gotcha. All right, Casey. Well, let's I guess put some fuel in this vehicle and we'll come back and join you at the diner, Captain.
Yes. Meantime, let's I'll two of you get gas for the vehicle and meet you in the diner in a few minutes. We'll ask around, see if anyone's spot a dear old friend with pointy ears.
Okay, so you guys are breaking off in the groups to go search the town.
Yeah.
All right, just let me know what you guys are doing. Where you guys want to go first?
What exactly is in like the town? Like, how big is this town seem to be?
Uh, the town square probably has maybe 10 storefronts. Um, this is maybe a town of maybe 1,000 to 2,000 people. So there's probably like the city hall. There might be a school within the town square. Pretty small and homey.
Um, Probably go to one of the storefronts. I would probably suggest like the three of us split off and kind of go to different stores.
Okay. All right, and then while you're doing that, Casey and DeGrasse, what are you two doing?
Trying to fill up the gas tank.
Trying to figure out how. Well, you put gas in it earlier, so.
Or I guess, like, do we see like
Well, this is the
gas
1960s, so they probably have. Yeah, I mean, there's a gas station right off the square, a little bit away. But they probably have attendants that probably pump it for you still in this time. Small town vibes and such. But we'll come back to you guys. We'll stick with the captain's group. So like specifically like stores in town, there's probably like the electronics store. There's like a general store, that sells food and hardware. Yeah, there's probably a general store that sells food and stuff. There's probably a hardware store, a few offices, things like that. A grocery store.
Go look at an electronics store if I can, or whatever passes for one.
Yeah, guys just let me know where you want to go first.
I'll let someone else go first.
All right, so Mendrock said you want to go to the electronics store. So you enter the electronics store. There's a bunch of the TVs in the window. There's some radios and stuff. Microwave ovens, lamps and such.
I'm looking, browse around and see if any more news comes on any of the TV things. And look
It's
around for Romulan.
oh yeah, you don't see anyone that matches their description, and the few news channels are pretty much saying the same news stories from earlier. It's been a pretty slow news day, so the same couple of stories they're regurgitating.
Mm-hmm. What time of the day is it?
We'll probably call it like 7, 8 o'clock at night.
All right, so yeah,
It's becoming evening time.
yeah. I will just take note of what they have for now, in case I need to come back here for anything, and like see if I can get a business card or a flyer or a sales ad or something.
There's really nothing like that in the store.
Okay. I'll just head out and go to another shop or head to a cafe.
All right, Nadine, Captain.
I'll head into the hardware store.
You walk in there, it's your typical hardware store. There's various tools, like screws and nails, a paint department. Get your, a little sign that says, have your duplicate keys made here. Stuff like that. One of the guy behind the counter says, "What can I do you for, ma'am?"
I was looking for a friend of mine. We seem to got separated. Like, actually, kind of got like pointed ears and head got caught in the blender when he was younger. Um,
See that dark-skinned, dark-haired fella?
yeah.
He came by a few weeks ago, wanting to buy up some lumber. Big quantity of it. Probably a building project. And he also wanted me to get some aluminum sheeting. I don't really know what for. Paid in cash, so I didn't have any problem with it. Didn't ask too many questions. Seemed like the strong and quiet type.
Is funny thing is that like just came into town and I don't know where he's staying. He didn't have to leave you with an address by any chance.
I'm sorry, ma'am. He didn't give me an address.
Oh, he picked it up himself.
Yeah, he has some type of moving truck.
That's new. Can you give me any details on the truck? Kind of gives a little smile.
Kind of boxy, white in color. Maybe about 15 feet long.
Okay. Thank you. She walks out of the store. Oh, out of curiosity, he didn't have to buy anything else. I'm just
Other than the basic hardware and tools, no.
have a nice day.
Mm-hmm.
She walks out.
All right, we'll head to DeGrasse and Casey. You guys just pull up to the petrol station.
Well, Casey, how does this work?
I think we pull up to one of these pumps and they will fill our gas tank. He'll park in front of one.
And probably like a teenage boy comes out. What can I do for you, sir?
A full tank of gasoline.
Sure thing. Would you like your oil check too?
No, thank you.
All right. That'll be $10.
He'll take out $10 from the wad of cash, or whatever bill has 10 on it.
Yeah, it's a truck, so it would have a bigger tank.
Hmm.
Did you hear about them riots that happened today? He says as he starts pumping your gas.
A little bit.
Well, DeGrasse will go. No. What was that about?
Oh, some hippie war protesters.
And they were for the war, against the war?
Definitely against the war. And if you ask me, that's just downright un-American.
Did you witness the protests yourself?
I looked out the window of my high school.
Did you notice anyone odd looking there? Perhaps with pointy ears, weird eyebrows.
Do you guys like high or low?
Hi.
You know, I think I have seen that guy around town recently.
How recently?
He comes in and buys gas from me every so often.
When was the last time he came?
His car can hold.
I'm not sure if you cut out there.
Yeah, I think he cut out. We heard his car can hold.
Yeah, he seems to buy more than what his car can hold.
Oh, I see.
Gotcha. Cool.
Do you have a plate number for his vehicle, perhaps? Do you know his name?
We never really talk like I'm talking to you.
I see.
And I'm sorry, I don't pay attention to what numbers are on the cars.
Do you know what kind of vehicle he was driving?
This big, ugly looking white truck. Almost twice as long as this here one.
DeGrasse leans over to Casey and kind of whispers quietly. So in this era, do we tip them when they tell us information?
Probably an appropriate thing to do. Do I have like a coin?
No, you just have the dollars.
Or I'll give him like a $1 bill then, I guess.
Thank you, sir. You're all filled up.
Thank you very much. And if you see that man, don't tell him that anyone was asking about him.
For that, I think I'm going to need another dollar, sir.
Casey shakes his head and hands another one.
On my honor, I will not say a word about this conversation.
Thanks, kid. Have a good one.
As they drive off, DeGrasse will say, Casey, it occurs to me that currency might get a lot done in this era.
Indeed. Indeed it can. Well, my stomach says it's lunchtime, and I think we have some information to take to the captain.
Agreed. Let's meet at the diner.
Ever had a true greasy diner style hamburger, sir?
To be honest, Casey, I'm not sure I've had non-replicated food in quite a while. I'm kind of looking forward to this.
I guess
Alright.
we'll drive off.
All right. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do before going to the diner?
If I can, I want to go back into the shop and inquire about the Romulan with the flip, because I totally forgot to do that.
Yeah. The electronics store wouldn't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I figured as much. Okay. I'll just head to the cafe or whatever.
Nadan, was there anything you wanted to do before the diner?
I'd see if I could pick up a. I assume we would have seen those like newspaper dispensers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd pick up a newspaper and flip through it, and also see about see if there's like a menswear store or something on the front area, because the captain got the hardware store and Mendrock got the electronics store. But if there's like a menswear store or a cafe or something where I can go and ask around about the Romulan, I will.
There are a few. There is a clothing shop in town. The only other food place is the cafe, is the diner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, since we're going to the diner anyway, I'll go for the menswear store.
All right. You're able to find the paper, no problem. You thumb through it. You know, it's mostly articles about the impending launch, some updates about the war, updated casualty numbers from the war. You know, sports section, advertisements, things of that nature.
I assume this string of cryptic numbers means something to someone. I'll mutter when I page past the business section.
Stock prices and such.
Yeah. And then I'll go check out the that clothing store and ask around about the Romulan.
Yeah, and again, they won't know of anyone matching the description.
Perfect. And that's it for me then.
All right, and then so you all get done doing your thing, and you all find a nice little table at the diner.
Is there a menu?
Yeah, you know, your typical Americana stuff. You know, burgers, fries, melts.
Shakes.
Club sandwich.
Yeah,
Classic.
yep. You know, the milkshake, your soda pops.
Yeah.
In case you'll get a club sandwich.
Yeah, I get a burger and a milkshake.
Yeah, so whatever you guys wanted to order from the waitress, she takes your order and then puts it in the kitchen, leaving you guys to talk among yourselves.
Amazing devices in the electronics store. no information about our friend.
Well, we were able to find something. Seems that our friend was recognized by a worker at the fuel station. Seems to come in at regular occurrences, order fuel, and that fuel seems to be more than what's needed for his vehicle.
That lines up with what I found at the hardware store, at least. But he appeared to order a bunch of lumber and sheets of aluminum. Appears to be building something. Just don't know where.
Mendrock, any idea what somebody could build with those building materials and type of weapon?
Well, it might be the aluminum can be used for any number of things. Um, what is outside this town? Is it like a wilderness?
Like farmland.
Alright. Okay. Wonder if they're assembling some kind of device or something. But if they didn't buy any electronics, they must have, maybe they have a ship or something hidden somewhere because Romulans have cloaking devices.
Why would they need? I don't know.
Are they going to interfere with the launch somehow? Or is there something else going on? I wonder, maybe they're in a barn, in some kind of building, like on a farm. Is it called a barn? Maybe?
But what would they need the lumber for? We're missing something here.
Nadan, give me insight command difficulty 2.
Okay. My sheet wants to open. Can I buy an extra die with either momentum or threat?
Would have to be threat. You guys are out of momentum.
Okay, I will do that. Ah, darn. I even tried for an extra die and everything. Oh.
Any way to re-roll?
I don't have any relevant abilities unless you would let me challenge versus mission demand on my determination.
I'll give this to you at cost.
Okay. Did you say anything after at cost, or are you typing?
I'm typing.
Oh, okay.
Just so you guys can role play out the information. And if my spelling would be correct.
Huh. I saw something in a newspaper earlier about
You have it with you, by the by, because
oh, I'll pull it out and open to the page with the missing Soviet weapon story. I saw this in the newspaper. Could that be relevant? Mind you, I'm also not sure how reputable this paper is. I don't think anyone had contact with humans before they became warp capable. And I'll point at it.
Missing nuclear weapon would be kind of a big deal, though. But also something that would probably want to be kept secret. GM, I know it's kind of late to ask, but do I still feel the symbiote, right?
yeah.
Okay. Can I see the tabloid or newspaper article?
Yeah, so it's basically like one of those spoof um newspapers. What is it, the Natural Esquire or some crap like that? Like where it's all like, the stories like, is your neighbor an alien? Um, were you abducted? Like those type of stories. It's like in something with all that off the wall stuff. That's probably it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like most of the articles are just like off the wall bonkers stuff. And even the article mentioning that is still kind of like weird.
Well, Captain,
Oh, and at this time, your waitress comes up. Who had the burger with cheese with cheese, French fries, chocolate milkshake?
That'd be me, ma'am.
Club sandwich with chips and a soda.
Prax raises her hand.
And she slides it in front of you. Club sandwich, onion rings, root beer.
Casey accepts it. Thank you kindly.
What did Don order?
I had actually forgotten to type it, so I'm typing it right now. Sorry about that.
Burger, fries, and a malt.
That's me.
She slides in front of you, and then kind of looks at the last person weird. Burger, club sandwich, fries, potato chips, malt, soda, coffee.
That would be me.
And she just takes the entire tray with the rest of it and just places it right in front of you.
Are you hungry?
A little bit. Decided to try one of everything. Thank you very much, ma'am. Well, I would ask if anybody would like anything, but I might try a bite of all of this. Grabs the burger.
Mendrop, do you think you can construct a device to look for any radiation signatures?
Should be able to catch it. Gonna need some equipment though.
Well, there is an electronics store and a hardware store. So
Yep.
do your best.
Hopefully I have enough funds. I will eat my meal and see if I can go shopping before they close.
You guys can continue to role play out the scene because if you guys don't want to, there's something else I need you guys to do before you guys go your separate ways from here.
So DeGrasse is about halfway through his burger and, trying the malt and a few other things, and then begins drinking the coffee. Captain, do we know if this publication is or is not reliable?
Well, probably not, but there could be some truth to it. But I mean, we do have a Romulan in the wind, so
May I see the publication?
slides it over.
DeGrasse flips to, is your neighbor an alien?
So that article is just like questions to ask your neighbor to see if they're an extraterrestrial. It's like one of those Cosmo quiz type things.
Huh.
But
okay.
But the other article, it goes off on this weird tangent about alien craft flying over Soviet nuclear silos and stealing the weapons, bringing them to America, blah, blah, like this wholly off the wall story. Like a soft saucer, basically like it's like like in Russia, above a nuclear silo, a saucer-shaped alien spacecraft hovered over a Soviet silo and used its beam to pull a nuclear weapon into its ship. And faster than the speed of light, dropped it off on American soil to be used to destroy an American city. Off the wall.
So DeGrasse is going to look at both and say, well, Captain, some of these questions in the "Is your neighbor an alien" section might be useful for us sometime in the future. Things like, where are you from? Good question. And what do you typically consume for nourishment? Great question. Do you tend to moisturize the outward layer of your epidermal carapace? Another great question. Nothing about having some sort of symbiont or harboring some other life form in your body, but take what you can get. But more seriously, Captain, reading over the section in detail about this weapon, it sounds oddly like, well, to be blunt, it sounds oddly like something that we might do on the expedition to retrieve some sort of weapon system, navigate to the location, use a transporter or some sort of tractor beam to acquire the weapon, and then fly away.
Or it could be used potentially to start a nuclear war here on Earth.
That too.
To be honest, I'm grasping at straws here. Pardon the human phrase, but it would seem that all we have to go on is a tabloid, some loosely news articles pinned together, and a Romulan with a white, ugly truck with aluminum and lumber.
At this point, can everyone give me an insight security roll? Difficulty 2.
Wish I had perception.
Observation for focus.
Yeah.
Take a threat.
I'll just say DeGrasse is so absorbed in how good this damn burger is that he is not registering anything around him.
I was going to say you're too enamored with the articles.
Well, go that route.
Spending that momentum. One of the momentum.
Okay. Casey gained 2 momentum out of it because he had to re-roll. He used a threat, so I think you guys should be at 1. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Casey, Nadon, and Captain. You guys are sitting there eating your lackluster food, to say, for lack of a better word. When you see this large white truck drive past the front of the diner.
Wait, isn't that?
Indeed, it is, and quickly just throws like a couple tens on the table and just starts booking it at the diner.
Casey's gonna run to the truck.
I was hoping someone would use that meme. So you guys all run into your truck.
Yeah, I go with Casey. Yep.
DeGrasse looks around confused as to why the others are running, but very quickly gets the idea that he should probably follow them.
Well, let's hope 20 covers the lavish meal that Ross spurged on.
It's okay, sir. Apparently, I'm a police officer, so
That was a joke. And that was out of game, so.
oh, mine was in game. But
Okay, so you guys get back to your truck, and then what do you guys do? Are you following? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Hot pursuit.
I drive.
The captain drives, huh? Okay. Captain, go ahead and we're gonna make this. Let's go. Daring Con. Difficulty 3. No, probably difficulty 2, complication 3.
Using my joint talent to gain a focus in automobiles.
Yeah, that's a thing. Holographic hobby, I assume. Race car driver.
Past, whatever, former host.
Yep. Took an interest in driving fast on racetracks.
I'll save the determination spin for later. I will. Don't want to roll too many. I'll just spend one momentum. One extra die.
Oh yeah, you get a momentum out of it. And so are you guys trying to like so what exactly are you just following, trying to see where he goes? Are you trying to run him off the road?
Follow him to see where he goes.
Okay.
Following doing the standard pursuit rules, 12 cars back. Or whatever it is. So we're not noticed in the rearview mirror as likely. Yeah, but he could have a nuke.
So you follow behind this guy, the white truck for he probably drives for an hour. Like deep into the countryside though, like you're rolling farmlands and unmarked roads and stuff. He eventually he pulls into a farm and drives directly into a barn, and he closes the doors as he drives into it.
Park the car a little, a ways away to, still have to walk, but not noticeable.
One of the things you do notice about this barn, though, is that it seems really big for a typical barn.
Is that like like the roof? Is it made of like aluminum?
No, it's a wooden building, and it still looks old-ish. You know, you could tell it recently had some expansions, but it's big, like probably 3 times the size of a normal barn would be.
Well, I guess it's up to us to take a closer look. And, she takes the keys out of the ignition. Is like, I think you need to hold on to these, Mr. Casey.
Yes, Captain.
All right, so let me know what you guys are doing.
Grab the assault rifle.
DeGrasse will grab the weapon as well. What is the captain doing?
Stealthily head up towards the barn.
DeGrasse will recognize that he is not the one for martial pursuits. And Casey, are you going with the captain?
Yep.
Okay. DeGrasse will actually hang back with their vehicle with the weapon out, just in case.
All right, Nadan, Mendrak, what are you two doing?
I guess I go with the captain.
I think I'll stay back at the vehicle.
I would like to stay back, but they might need me for the if there's a device to disarm.
I think I'll stay back at the vehicle because, as with
Okay.
I'm also not well suited to martial pursuits.
All right, cool. So Nadan, DeGrasse will stay with the vehicle, and Casey, Mendrak, and the captain are able. You three are able to get up to the barn, and are basically on the side of it, or like by the doors where he entered.
By any chance, do I have a sidearm as well?
No, you just have the
Right.
the M16.
Is there like a club or something around I can make a makeshift like club with?
Nothing around you. All right, so you three get up to the doors. What are you guys doing?
So it was like a side door.
Like the sliding door that he drove into.
Oh,
like those like those big barn doors.
Is there a window?
There is not actually.
Are there any side doors? That we can find at least.
I'm going to spend a little bit of threat and say that this is really the only way in or out. That you could tell being, pretty much it being nighttime.
Is there like a house nearby the barn?
There's a house on the property that you passed, but it's not close. Like it's a good probably quarter to a third of a mile away from where this barn is.
Mendrock, hang back a little bit. She kind of points like to be away from the doors.
Okay. I will get back.
She's gonna motion to Casey to kind of keep an eye out, and she's gonna slowly open the doors. Like slightly part them open a little bit to see in.
Okay, give me a control. I'll probably make this a control con. We'll just make it a difficulty 2.
I want to argue for composure that I am trying to be kind of stealthily, like not to, carefully, keeping the composure of my character so I don't like setting like alarms off.
I'll give it to you at increased complication.
Spend the momentum. So close every time.
Get the momentum back. Yeah, you're able to part the doors, a little bit that you could do the whole look through with one eye thing. There is light coming through the door when you open it.
What do I see inside?
When you peer inside, you kind of hear like hammers and some tools going off, and you kind of see what looks like a large airplane. However, where the fuselage would be, it does not look like technology that would be on this planet. Give me this will probably be reason or insight with con, difficulty 3, to see if you can figure out what it is.
There's no focus for this. Is it difficulty 3?
Yes.
I like to spend my determination on insatiable curiosity.
That works for me.
I will go 2. Oh my god. Oh, I made it.
The complication, huh? All right, so you passed. So I think I'm going to take this as threat because I think I might need it. Where the fuselage would be, you notice that not done building whatever they're trying to build, but it looks to you to be like a Romulan shuttlecraft. That whoever is building this thing is building around the Romulan ship to make it seem like an Earth airplane.
That's odd.
Yeah, Captain, I think perhaps some of our earlier theories were correct. Perhaps they're trying to simulate an attack on the United States and make it seem like it was perpetrated by the Soviet Union in order to instigate a devastating war that could wipe out the human race in the 1960s. Or in Earth's 1960s.
Perhaps. How many GM, how many did I see inside? These-
People?
Yeah,
You actually don't see any people.
but there was hammering, right?
Yes.
Is it like the Can I determine if it's like the hammering intervals of like just one person hammering, or
It sounds like a hammering of someone constructing something.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Casey. I think I cut out like right in the middle of your sentence.
oh, I was just saying like would we be able to determine like is it like there's like a rhythm to hammering? Is it like one person hammering, or does it sound like multiple hammers going?
Sounds like one. It'll hammer a little bit. You'll hear like a piece of wood shift. You'll start hearing hammering again. You hear a piece of aluminum move. You hear like a drill.
Right. What are your orders, Captain?
Well, we need to get inside, figure out exactly what they're doing. Why don't you go first, Casey? And she'll slowly open the door. Allow him to pass inside.
I'll squeeze through the crack. Keep the rifle at the ready.
Right. The noise is loud enough that you are able to sneak to open the door undetected. Enough to fit everybody through.
Mendrock, stay close. Two of us don't have a weapon, so
Yeah, I am definitely staying behind both of them, close to the crack, and trying to use a cover too, so I don't get shot at.
for a momentum, could there be like a pipe on the ground?
Do you like high or low, Captain?
Feeling high.
It's pretty clean, actually.
Oh, so much for a bludgeoning weapon.
The D100 are not your friend today.
Rolls on our friends today.
Nope.
Don't worry, it takes a ton of damage to take Casey out in one turn.
Can I spend a milestone and give the captain a weapon?
No.
Oh.
Don't waste on that. Yeah, we slowly sneak in there and figure out what they're doing.
So you sneak in further, and again, this is a pretty big barn. Covered underneath a sheet, you can kind of see something that kind of looks like what could be a nuclear weapon. It makes the shape of one. Kind of like the picture of the tabloid. Kind of make the sheet over, kind of makes the shape of that.
Is there anyone? Is it still clear?
Yeah, I mean, he's still hammering. It seems to be coming from toward the front of the aircraft, and you guys are probably toward the back of it. I mean, if you know your military aircraft, he's basically making like a huge bomber.
Oh, so he's constructing like a fuselage and wings to
Yeah,
the
to
program.
look like a giant bomber.
to the shuttle to make it look like a bomber. Okay. I'm kind of surprised by the engineering, but definitely look at the captain.
She kind of looks to the tarp. Do you think you could disarm it?
If I can get into it. I don't know. Don't have any tools. There might be some.
Captain, it's possible. Well, we have access to our organization's radio back in the truck. If we were to subdue the individual behind this, perhaps they could come and secure the bomb.
You guys think you hear the hammering stop in the distance, but after a few moments, it starts going again.
Does it appear that there's anybody else around?
No.
Let's beat this guy up. Casey would be like ready and like waiting for a signal from the captain to move up.
She motions for Mendrock to take cover, and then I think Casey and I will kind of go on opposite ends and sneak.
I definitely take cover away from the bomb.
All right. So are you moving up on like opposite sides of the airplane, like one on the left, one on the right?
Yeah.
Or like, are you both on the left side, both on the right side?
Essentially trying to flank on opposite, like both on left and right. So coming in.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So can both of you give me what would it be to sneak? Probably con, right? Or security. So let's go daring, and you can either use your con score or security score, difficulty 2, to try to sneak undetected up to the front of the plane.
Take a threat.
All right, you get a momentum.
I'll spend the momentum that was just gained.
You get it back. And both of you are able to sneak up to the front of the plane. And Casey, on your side of the aircraft, kind of like on like a makeshift ladder. Why call it makeshift? On a ladder, you see your Romulan basically building like the front of the aircraft. You know, like where the nose, the cockpit would be.
Right.
That's the area he's working on.
Casey will like go out and point the rifle like center mass and just yell freeze.
The Romulan stops his hammering, and you see him start reaching toward his left side with his right hand.
Do I see anything on his left side?
Give me a insight security difficulty. We'll make it a 3.
Observation for focus.
Yep.
I'll spend a threat and 2 momentum.
Right. You see him actually reaching for what looks to be a Romulan disruptor pistol.
Can I kick the ladder up from under him?
A little far away.
Shoot him in the leg.
Is there a wrench I could throw at him?
You're kind of on the opposite side. That's what I was asking. Sorry, Casey, what did you say?
Shoot him in the leg, I guess. I'll attempt to shoot him in the leg.
All right, I will give you first advantage. So yes, we are in combat.
Will this be a controller daring for a firearm?
It's still control.
Okay.
I think there's stats for a projectile weapon, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see what those are.
It's a difficulty 2 shot from where I am, or
Yeah.
take a threat.
Get a momentum, and once I find where the equipment is, I could probably then tell you what the bloody roll is.
That's 193, and there is none.
Wasn't there a projectile particle rifle, right? Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah, there's particle rifle.
I could just do type 2 damage. If that would be similar. 3 dice.
It's probably going to be a type 1 similar to type 1, I think.
So that's 2 dice?
Yeah.
So I'll just roll it as challenge dice.
I will give it vicious 1, however.
Okay.
Because it is a bullet. Damn, that's what you rolled, Casey?
Yeah.
It's a 11? Shit.
As soon as he has to shoot, the rolling's back. Driving, not so much.
Let's see here. What can I do? I am going to spend threat to have him avoid the injury. You do hit him, like, square in the chest, and he's trying to, he turns towards you, and you see him pull out another device. And this device kind of opens up a rift, and he falls into it. Basically disappearing. But he was definitely gushing green blood everywhere.
This rift, what did it look like?
Similar, actually, fondly enough, to what brought you here.
So green vortex. Got it.
Yep.
Prax comes running around and hears the shot. Guy goes down. Oh, great. She pulls out the comm badge that she's somehow hidden on herself and taps it.
It gives the sign that it connected to something.
This is Captain Israel Prax to my mysterious time travel agent.
Go ahead, Captain.
We found your Romulan, but he disappeared in a vortex that brought us here.
Yes, we are reading that now. It appears that he went to another point in time.
Right. I assume the timeline's stable for the moment.
For the movement, stand by. We're going to beam your group back.
Understood. Mendrak, go tell Casey to call this in to the authorities. I'm sure they want to recover this nuclear bomb
Yeah, I Captain. I run out and
and prepare for transport.
across. Commander.
Yes. Did you guys find anything?
Yeah, the Romulan got away, but Casey shot him. Please call in I guess the FBI to reclaim this nuclear device that's inside the bar.
So you found it.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
I haven't tried to disarm it, but I'm sure they can handle that. Or better yet, maybe I should disarm it first. But
Understood. I'll contact the authorities.
and I'll head back in to relay that message to the captain.
So DeGrasse moves to the radio, and will pick it up and tune it to the frequency, or actually, it should be on the frequency that Casey last used, and just say, Agent DeGrasse to dispatch.
Go ahead, Agent.
Dispatch, we have had reports of an explosive device near Lamont, Ohio. It looks like this information is credible information. I request dispatch sends units as soon as possible.
Do you have the exact location?
Would DeGrasse have known where to guide them based on the route they took?
You could always check your map,
Yeah, I'm a little afraid to.
and I'll give you a roll for it.
I was about to say they're going to end up in West Virginia. If
Spend your
check my map.
determination if you can.
I'll give you a difficulty 3. Reason con. To give them the coordinates.
Okay. Actually, Prax made a really good point. Is there a mailbox nearby? Or are we too far back?
You're too far to see it.
Okay. All right, reason con. I'll use my determination.
Value?
At this point, mission directive.
I don't see this fitting into the mission directive.
Okay.
It hinders the Romulans' plans.
The Romulans already been dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking over my values and I don't think I have anything for that. I mean, yeah, I honestly don't think I have anything. All right, never mind. This will be a straight roll. You know what? I'll burn a momentum, take me up to 3 die, and take 2 threat.
Hey, Nadan might be
Yeah.
able to do this roll too. She's got a rolling a 14 with reason con, and she might take geology.
That's a good point.
That's true.
Take what now?
I have a focus in geology.
So I think we're looking at Nadan doing the roll instead.
Yeah. I don't see geology for this. If you could sell me on it.
Could she spend her determination on collaborative problem solving yields better solutions? If the two of them are working together to get the location.
Yeah.
We're at?
Yeah, and then yeah, DeGrasse can assist. Yeah, because you're trying to read the map and pinpoint where you are. Yeah,
And
that'd be fine.
Cool.
sure.
So DeGrasse is like turning the map upside down, trying to read it, and then Don will be like, "We're here."
Yeah.
If she passes.
I am spending my determination on it though.
Yep. Right, get a momentum onto that.
Sweet.
And yeah, how I just described it, DeGrasse is turning the map every which way, trying to figure it out, and Nadan just kind of points, "We're here, Commander."
Oh, of course, Lieutenant. Sure. Dispatch, we are located 3 miles outside of Lamont to the southwest along, and then I'll give the name of the road.
Rural Route 9.
Rural Route 9. You'll be looking for a large rural structure. It's a ways off the road.
Very good. Units are dispatched. Good work, Agent.
Thank you, Dispatch. And thank you, Lieutenant.
No problem, Commander.
I think, and she kind of walks up to her near Casey, motions. I think we need to be scarce before they get here.
What about the shuttle that is now currently an airplane? Can't leave that.
See what we can do about it. Is there a way into the shuttle?
Yeah, I mean the door will be open.
Is there any weapons or anything in here I can use it to maybe destroy it, dismantle it? Or do we want to try and take it?
If we blow it up right next to the nuke,
Oh yeah, that's true.
We could try to fly it away from the nuke a bit, and then see if it has a self-destruct. Blow it up in some field.
Yeah, trying to get it out of here.
Is the plane up? Is it the shuttle operational?
Oh yeah, that's true. Mm.
It is. I won't make Mendrak go for that. You could tell that it's fully functional. Has some wicked modifications that you could tell, but that would require rolls. But
Yeah, I'm
it
not
is functional.
too worried about that. I just don't want 1960s Earth trying to find a Reverend shuttle.
Yeah.
Prime directive and all.
Well, let's get this out of here before
Yep.
they arrive.
So everybody load up and fly.
Probably need to open the doors.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yep. I'll get her started.
I will start checks to make sure pre-flight checks. Make sure this thing could take off.
All right. So are you all entering the shuttle? It's just you two. What's the plan?
The plan is to fly it away and then set it down somewhere else.
Yep.
And hopefully
Sure.
our friends in the temporal agency can take care of it for us, or we just blow it up. Actually, I have an idea. I have a better idea. Because he did they said they're going to prepare to transport us, right?
That is correct.
Can we just
Can I
Yeah.
Can I preset the shuttle for automation to take off and then a self-destruct sequence?
You could.
Let's do
You
that.
could send it all the way into space; they'll never find it.
Yeah, that's the idea. Is
Yeah. Yeah. Good idea.
Okay, so this is probably going to be a couple rolls here. We're going to have to program the autopilot to bring it to space. So I am thinking this is probably going to be a daring con. Difficulty. It's probably going to be a difficulty 2. I don't think it'll be too difficult of a task. And then the second component of this is rigging the ship to auto-destruct at a certain point. So this is probably going to be daring engineering, and I'll call that a difficulty 4.
Y'all got determination.
I'll set up the autopilot, for it to work, and then I'll let Mendrak do the engineering task.
Yeah.
Can I assist him in, or maybe Nadan assist him in self-destruct?
Yeah, I'll give both of the rolls 1 assist.
Whoever wishes
My
to
daring
assist
con
me.
is 13.
Yeah, so is mine. That we're literally on the same thing, so. One momentum for the autopilot. Roll 3 dice.
Get a momentum back, and yes, the autopilot has been successfully programmed. To fly into space, to fly toward the sun, whatever you guys want it to do, you could do.
Into space, to where it just be bright explosion in the night sky.
Cool.
Tabloids are like, UFO spotted. Are the aliens trying to attack us?
That's probably next week's issue. All right, then we need Mendrock's engineering roll. It'll be daring engineering, difficulty 4, to
Alright.
program the auto destruct at the proper time.
I'll spend my determination so I can get some
Which value?
understands technology better than people.
I don't know about that one.
Alright. How about trust me, I'm an engineer.
I'll take that one.
Okay. And then I'll buy a die.
2 momentum it is.
Is anyone assisting?
I'll give one assist. It cannot be you or the captain.
Well, the determination shouldn't be me.
Yeah, you got the 4 successes already.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just thinking for momentum.
Yeah.
Mendrock or DeGrasse can, or Nadon or DeGrasse could assist either one.
I have 12 on that roll.
Better than nothing.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
I have 12 too. Yeah.
Do you
DeGrasse is
want-
supervising.
Okay.
What was that, Nadon? Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. I guess I'm rolling.
Yeah.
For it. Worth a shot.
Nope. But yeah, Mendrock, you're able to program the self-destruct sequence to self-destruct at the exact coordinates that you want it to. So really, there's no problem, except all you got to do is push the go button, basically.
I'll let the captain do that as I get off the shuttle.
Set the timer for takeoff. Enough time to walk off the shuttle and let it go into space.
All right, you step out of the shuttle, and with a crash and a clank, the shuttle takes off and ripping apart the makeshift aircraft as it does so, and it flies out of the barn. And a few moments later, you feel yourself enveloped in a transporter beam, and you are transported into another unfamiliar place. But this time, it is of technology you do not recognize. It seems much more advanced. And as your eyes adjust to the light, a person wearing a uniform with a Starfleet style insignia that again looks years in advance says, "Welcome, Commander. Welcome, Captain Prax and crew. Welcome to the 25th century." And with that, we will call that the end of past tense.